You are listening to a production of the Weibo Podcast Network.
Hello, welcome to episode 20 of season 2 of Tiger Sports Page. I am your host, Tristan Hobbs, sitting in for Angelina Lopez, who had a family obligation. Because just like Fast and Furious, we are all about family. For those of you who don't know, Tiger Sports Page is a weekly podcast and YouTube program dedicated to all things Lancaster ISD. Lancaster ISD, for those who don't know the geography, is in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in North Texas, just south of Dallas. Lancaster High School, most of what we cover here on this podcast, is a member of the Texas University Interscholastic League and plays in the 6A division, which is the division with the largest schools with the biggest populations. We cover all of that. Now on today's program, we are joined today by our head women's track and field coach, LaKeidra Hayes. Hello, Coach. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Before we start with our questions, can you please give us a 1-minute autobiography of yourself?
Yes. So this is my second year here at Lancaster as the head girls track coach. Prior to this, I was at McKinney High School for about 2 years, and then prior to that, I was an assistant boys track coach at Duncanville High School. That was actually my first coaching position, so that's when I got started in 2019. And I was blessed to have my first head coaching job in 2021 at McKinney, and all those things have led me to this position here at Lancaster.
Okay, that's nice. Now, the real question is, how are you going to repeat a state champion for women's track?
Like we've already told our girls this year, it's a new year, new division, but same goals. So nothing has changed for us. So the standard is the standard. We practice doing the same things that we were working on and have been working on, and we're making sure to keep the main thing the main thing.
Okay. Now, I know I kind of ambushed you with that first question, so let's backtrack a little bit now. Your season is just getting started. What are your goals and expectations for your team, your coaches, and your athletes this season?
My expectations are to really just see where we are early on in the season. It's basically a test at the beginning of the season to see how your off-season training went and to see where you are. So those are the main things that we're doing at this moment. And we're going to some really good meets, facing some really good competition, and really just seeing how our athletes and coaches respond to that adversity. Tells me a lot about our team.
Okay. So what do you see as your biggest challenge heading into the 6A and why?
I think our biggest challenge really is really just ourselves. We're going to the same meets that we went to when we were in 5A. We always went to where the biggest competition was, so nothing has changed for us on that end. So really it's just more so about our execution and staying focused on ourselves.
Okay. You came in last year following a statewide legend who has been here for a long time and had a successful while here. How did you get the buy-in from the team last year, and how did you sustain that this year?
Yes, like you said, Coach Humphrey, of course, a legend, 13-time state champion coach, most winningest coach in Texas history. So definitely it was, big shoes to fill coming in. With the girls, I think the buy-in happened definitely over time, and it helped having supportive coaches, having Coach Butler, Coach Morris, Coach Jefferson there to support and really follow. And we had some great leadership as well last year with our team captains. So I think that helped a lot. And of course, the girls stepping onto the track and then seeing improvements with their times and marks, I think that helped and assisted with the buy-in too, of course.
Yes, that's nice. Is there a different preparation between facing 5A talent and 6A talent?
No. Again, for us, it's the same goal. So the same teams that we are competing against in this division, we competed against last year. Oftentimes, last year we would be the only 5A team at a lot of the meets competing against 6A. So it's just something that we've already prepared for. So it's nothing different for us.
Okay. If we could pull the curtain back a bit, how do you run and manage a track program? There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of planning, a lot of people to manage. How do you do that? And just in general, how is that done?
I think it definitely helps to have supportive family, my husband, my mom, my in-laws. That definitely helps a lot. And of course, having great coaches and assistant coaches working on my staff. I have some really, really great coaches. Like I stated, Coach Jefferson, Coach Morris, Coach Butler are returning. And also I have some new coaches, Coach Henson and Coach Gaines, who have really stepped in, and they all help, keep our girls focused, keep everybody focused on the same task, and that has helped a lot with the girls. And then as far as our senior leadership, we have some really good captains that help steer that boat as well. So it helps everybody stay focused.
Okay. This is the one women's program at Lancaster High School that has had any real success, and this is one that has sustained success. How?
Well, I think, like you said, you mentioned Coach Humphrey and the foundation that she's laid 13-time state championship. Everyone knows Lancaster track, boys and girls program. So it's just been a staple. So I think just carrying on with that winning tradition has kind of like helped to sustain it.
Thank you so much, Coach. Have I forgotten to ask you anything, or do you have anything to add?
Nope, I don't have anything to add. You were very thorough.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, hold up. Thank you for tuning in this week. Come back next week as we will be interviewing our head men's track coach, Jeremy Warner. Those of you listening to the podcast on your favorite podcast app, either Apple Podcast or iHeart or Spotify, please like and rate us. This will allow us to appear higher in rankings and gain more listeners. If you are watching on the YouTube feed, which comes out a little bit later than the audio feed, please like and subscribe to the channel. You will be notified every time we post a new video. Tiger Sports Page is a production of the Weibo Podcast Network. It is produced with the Corporation of Lancaster ISD, Department of Athletics, and the Lancaster ISD Department of Communications. Thank you again, and thank you for listening and watching. I am Tristan sitting in for Angelina, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
This has been a production of the Weibo Podcast Network.